So constructing an angle bisector using construction tools versus the special tool that's built in. So I'm going to start with the compass, using a compass and straight edge. And the first thing that you would do on this is you would create a circle at the vertex of your angle that passes through the angle in two places, two known places. And when you're doing this, you want to make sure that the points that you use to define your circle are locked in place. So I'm either going to pass my circle from center A through point B or through point C. And if you just did this, if you selected it so that it looks like it passes through B, that's not locked in place. So meaning this point G is not locked in. So if I move my point B away, the circle doesn't change with it. Your change needs to be, or your circle needs to be locked in place. So when I create my circle with a given radius, I'm going to plot it from point A, pass it through either B or C. I'm going to lock it to that point. Okay? Because you want to know the two places where this circle passes through the angle. So I have B as one point. I need to designate the other point, which in this case is G. Okay, so right now I know that distance AB and distance AG, those are two radii of the same circle A. Once I establish those 2 points, what I'm going to do is I'm going to construct or duplicate a circle at point B and at point G that is congruent to circle A. And the way that I can do that is using my compass. I can establish my radius, AB, and then plot my point C, or at point B. And I'm going to do the same thing at point G. So I'm going to establish the radius I want, which is going to be the radius AB, and I'm going to plot that at point G. And if I've done this correctly, when I see where these two new circles intersect each other, I can connect that back to my original vertex using a ray, and that's going to bisect my angle. Oliver. So once you have your circle A intersecting your given angle, your angle BAC in two places, what you're going to do next is you're going to construct a circle at point B and G that is congruent to circle A. So I'm going to go to this compass tool. I'm going to designate my radius as BA, and I'm going to plot that at point B. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing on point G. I'm going to select my compass tool. My radius is going to be BA, and I'm going to plot that at point G. And if I then connect my vertex back through the intersection of those two circles I just drew at points G and B, that's going to bisect my original angle. And so I can verify it, again, in counterclockwise rotation, that CH and HAB, those are two identical measures. So I bisected that angle. Now, you do need to be able to recognize the arcs and the measurements or the markings that are used to do these constructions. Okay, so definitely I encourage you to look in the textbook. It has where I don't use the full circles, I just use the arcs or portions of the circle. And you'll see them on your homework problems, but you do need to be able to recognize what markings go with which construction. But when we get to, when we're using this dynamic software to test relationships later on, we can use shortcuts. And the shortcuts would be like the shortcuts we see in these special tools. So if you want to bisect this angle EDF using the special tools, if you select that tool, we choose angle bisector. And you can either choose the two sides of an angle, but the easier way to do it would be to choose 3 points that designate or name the angle. So E, D, F. And if you choose those, it'll draw in your bisector. If you just put a point somewhere on that bisector, you can then measure it and confirm. So EDI is 25.91. I'll move that over here. And I can verify that IDF is the exact same thing. And so I can see that that is, in fact, an angle bisector.